1. A new poll shows that 60% of voters in Alabama support President Trump. The national average is just 48%. Now, the poll also looks at what's important to voters. I'm joined by NBC's John Lipinski, the man behind the number, to break down those results. Good afternoon, John.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Talk to us about these numbers. How many people were surveyed, and were you targeting a specific group?
Well, it's actually an extremely large survey. So we interviewed around 15,000 people nationally, and we were targeting people in a few southern states, including Alabama, and we interviewed over 1,000 Alabamans.
Talk to us about, John, talk to us about those numbers in Alabama as they compare to others in the nation. What did you find?
Yeah, so what we found is that President Trump is particularly strong in Alabama. As you had noted, Reginald, a 60% approval rating in the state of Alabama is exceptional. I think if President Trump could have that number nationally, he'd be a very happy person. We also saw that he has there's going to be strength probably for President Trump in that the economy is really doing well. At least that's how voters think of the economy as doing well in Alabama. In addition to that, though we looked at a lot of national issues, we also looked at the Democratic primary, and what we found there is that Vice President Biden is doing much better in Alabama than he is nationwide, sitting at a 36% essentially of voters supporting him, Democratic voters, versus 25 nationally. So Vice President Biden is particularly happy with these sorts of numbers.
Talk to us a little bit about, I noticed in your poll, you started to target some of the issues that are important to these voters, and jobs and economy seems to be the thing that is first and foremost among voters.
That's true, but the other issue that's really been on the rise is immigration. I think with all of the attention, obviously by President Trump, but also by the Democrats, immigration traditionally is an issue that doesn't get a lot of attention. And when we actually look at the state of Alabama, a quarter of people actually rate that as the most important issue. We've also polled across a number of other issues. For example, we asked voters about Roe v. Wade, whether or not on the abortion issue, whether they'd like to see Roe v. Wade overturned. And what we saw nationally is that about only a third would actually like to see that. But of course, it's a partisan issue, and given that Alabama leans more Republican, more people, though certainly not a majority, would support overturning Roe v. Wade in Alabama. That's in the 40s.
All right, John, I appreciate your taking time out to talk to us about these numbers as they break down. It appears as though, and one final question, because there are a lot of people who really don't have a lot of confidence in surveys or polls. So what do you make of these numbers?
Yeah, I think these numbers are actually very good. I mean, I think everybody took a step back after 2016 to reevaluate sort of the polling business, and I can tell you that at NBC News, we've spent hundreds of hours, sort of making sure that our methodology really does a good at capturing these numbers, and we've tried different, in this particular poll, this is an online poll, and again, we spent a lot of time sort of making sure that the methodology is really sort of first rate. So I'm pretty confident in these numbers.
All right, John, thanks a lot. We appreciate your taking time to break down those numbers for us. And the poll surveyed 872 registered Alabama voters earlier in July, has a margin of error of 4.4%. Will the weekend be a washout? Well, we're going to have a full look at forecasts when we come back. Stay with us.